Hey y'all, thanks for stopping in. Got a pair of articles here from Trending Politics in relation to Joe Biden possibly being removed or bowing out of the 2024 election. Missouri State Senator files bill to remove Biden from the 2024 election ballot. This is a counter to the blue states essentially removing Trump from their ballots. And let's just see where this goes, right? Missouri State Senator Bill Eigel's announcement of the reprisal came on Friday night. And we got this X post from ALX of the Benny Show. Breaking, Missouri State Senator Bill Eigel sponsors a bill to disqualify Joe Biden from 2024 ballot. Here's that post, but I think we got the quotes down here, so we'll go ahead and read it from this. In the wake of formal efforts in 33 states to remove President Donald J. Trump from the ballot, State Senator Bill Eigel will be putting forth legislation that would disqualify Biden from the ballot in Missouri, the announcement says. I just think of Roseanne Barr's. And I think of Roseanne's prediction that the 2024 election might not happen, right? I mean, if Trump's removed from the ballot in multiple states, if Biden's removed from the ballot in multiple states, what are we going to be left with? By the Democrats' own standard, Joe Biden should be immediately disqualified and removed from the ballot for the aid and comfort he has given to our enemies, he remarked. Our country is being invaded because Joe Biden has swung our southern border wide open, he continued. President Biden has allowed more than 8 million people to stroll across our border illegally, causing more harm to this country than any other president in American history. And I do agree with that. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for legal immigration. I think that people that come over here and assimilate to America's ways because they want to pursue the American dream is fantastic. But I don't think people should just be pouring across the border, breaking the law to get here, and slapping all those people that do follow the process properly in the face. My legislation exposes the absolute absurdity of Colorado and Maine's decision to remove President Donald Trump from the ballot. He added, if radical leftists continue to push lies and fairy tales in an attempt to kick Trump off the ballot in their states, Republicans have no choice but to buck up and fight back, and using the facts to remove Biden from the ballot before he destroys the country even further. Well, two things. Do Republicans actually have the cojones to do anything? Because it seems like they move way slower than the Democrats. The example being, it took them about 5 seconds to do Trump's impeachment inquiry and then follow up with his impeachment. And current Republicans have been hinting at impeaching Biden for months now. They've had control of Congress for a year plus. And what have they done? At this point, with all the polling showing Trump as the front runner pretty much in every poll, is it actually wise and productive to the Republican voter to remove the person from the ballot who's actually projected to lose? Now, don't get me wrong, there's still plenty of time for things to change, and we got the October surprises, which were worthless last time, by the way. The laptop was hidden from big tech, the Twitter files, things like that. So, if you got information, release it now. And do things now, give it time to circulate, give it time to bypass the censors, and let Biden get beat in the 2024 election. There's a lot of trust going with the election being held on the up and up in that statement, but if people go out and vote for Trump and show up, mail them in, show up at the polls, do everything, all of the above, register now and make plans and encourage other people to do the same, Biden doesn't stand a chance, especially the way that the country's been going, right? I mean, it won't make sense if he gets reelected, in my opinion, but let's just continue. Democrats only believe in democracy when it favors them. Let's expose their double standard hypocrisy, the statement went on. We must stand our ground to protect the security of our nation and sovereignty of our people. Yeah, we must, but what have you been doing to this point? It's not like Biden just now opened the borders. He said before he was inaugurated to come on over. So this has been going on for 3 years now. I get it. The Republicans didn't have control the first 2 years, but they've had it now for a year, and they keep talking about what they could do, what they should do, rather than actually doing something when they've already had time. So it's a big disappointment, and it could just be a smokescreen. I don't know. In a related document, Colorado Secretary of State Gina Griswold announced that Donald Trump would appear on the state's ballot, as the election ballots have been certified and the Supreme Court is adjudicating the case. I believe that that's going to actually hit the Supreme Court in early February. The Supreme Court will take up the case of President Trump being removed from ballot in Colorado and Maine, and oral arguments will begin on February 8th. So then we have this other one here from Trending Politics as well, as Governor Ron DeSantis threatens to remove Joe Biden from the Florida election ballot. So we now have Missouri and Florida threatening to remove Joe Biden from their ballots. These games are insane, right? According to Governor Ron DeSantis, Florida is considering removing President Joe Biden off its primary ballot over his reaction to the migrant issue, after Maine's Secretary of State took action against former President Donald Trump for the January 6th incident at the United States Capitol, where he told people to protest peacefully, and he told everybody to go home, and then everybody did. Yeah, there was a few bad actors, but what we've learned lately is that a lot of those bad actors were either FBI undercover agents, allegedly, or instigated by FBI agents. So the grounds they're standing on to remove Donald Trump is actually a bunch of BS. But to have one election official decide that somebody is guilty of, quote, insurrection when there has not been a criminal conviction of anybody, much less the candidate himself, which he hasn't been charged, let alone convicted, that opens up Pandora's box. DeSantis told reporters in Iowa, "I'm actually looking at this in Florida now. Could we make a credible case that Biden should be removed because of the invasion of 8 million immigrants?" And I think so. These 8 million immigrants do get counted by the census, and the census is what determines how many electoral votes a state gets. Essentially, these folks being here affect our election results. Whatever the rules are applied to us, we're going to fight back and apply the rules the other way, he said. I do think the U.S. Supreme Court is going to have to take the case. I do think they're going to have to rein this in because I just think, if you look at it, it just becomes too difficult. When asked what he would do differently on January 6, 2021, DeSantis remarked that he would have won the election and would have never been an issue. He claimed that Trump aggravated the situation by supporting the Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Act, or CARES Act, which justified allowing individuals to vote by mail. Republican voters should think about this, DeSantis said. I know it's a big issue the media likes to talk about. The left likes to talk about it. If Trump's the candidate in 2024 is going to focus on the legal issues, criminal trials, January 6th, and really all these things from the past, it's going to subsume everything. That is not the way Republicans drive a good message to be able to get a majority of electoral college. Voters also questioned DeSantis about January 6th, which the governor described as Trump encouraged protest that devolved into a riot. Well, there was only a few people that actually went into the Capitol. I don't know where the riot actually happened, considering only a select few fought with police. The electromagnetic doors of the Capitol were open from the inside. We've seen the recent interview with Tucker, where Clay Higgins explained that there was FBI planted inside and outside of the Capitol before the doors were opened, potentially escorted these rioters around, even though they weren't destroying anything in the Capitol that their tax dollars paid for. But he informed the audience that the former president's supporters attempted to use the government against him by filing a bogus ethics complaint with the Florida Election Commission. They actually asked to have me removed from the office as governor, he said. So if any of his competitors had been taken off the ballot, Trump would be spiking the football. Let's just be clear about this. So I guess he means he's going to be scoring a touchdown and winning. I'm not sure about that. I know DeSantis is also trying to defeat Trump in the primary, which is completely ridiculous. DeSantis needs to go ahead and bow out now and get behind Trump, quit wasting people's time, and get back to being the governor of Florida, where he did such a great job before, and I've been disappointed in him for the last year, considering it seems like he spends all of his time in Iowa now. But anyways, I'm going to leave it at that, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.